My dad was in a head-on collision yesterday on Mosquito Creek Hill. He's in the hospital now, and he got kind of busted up. He's got a fractured pelvis in 2 different spots, and a few broken ribs, and a slight punctured lung, I guess. Besides the visible damages that were done to his hands and wrist, which may have had to do with the airbag when it exploded. I'm not really sure. But anyway, I'm out here plowing his driveway. I just fed his wood boiler, so he's got some heat in the house. And his girlfriend Hazel, I brought her here, and she is in the house tending to his quail and his bannies. He's a bird man, and she's a bird woman, and they both have the likes of things in common that some of us may not understand. But I guess when you get to 93 and she's 84, that you probably enjoy taking care of something or someone. She enjoys being a servant to my dad, which I can't thank her enough. She's pretty awesome for someday possible stepmom, but we'll see. My dad says he won't ever get married again, but she's a good woman, and he should probably try to keep her. But they're really good friends too. So anyway, I just figured you could ride along with me and why I plow his driveway real quick, since traffic's pretty light being this early in the morning. And because this is called Dead Man's Curve where he lives, and this is the one that I posted I don't know, a week or 2 ago when they had that semi roll over down here. So yeah, we gotta take care of him. He's in the hospital. He'll be in there for a while. Not sure how long exactly, but he's kind of busted up. So anyway, gotta do what we can do. Myself and my brother Cody and Bucks. He's good mental support for our dad. He was at the hospital yesterday when my dad was admitted, and I drove up on the crash as I was my wife and I, we were on our way home from Hesperia. We call it Hespetucky, but anyway, we were up there. We bought a wood stove north of Hesperia, picked it up, and then delivered it to our new house in Hightower Lake when we were on our way home, and we drove up on the accident. So yeah, scary moment for sure. But anyway, let's go up on the hill. And I already busted the main part of the driveway open, so it's not too bad. Sorry about not having the wipers on. It's looking pretty good now, so I'll probably calm a bit here in a few minutes. I got to get turned around and clean up some parking area for Sunday breakfast. Hopefully he's out of the hospital by this Sunday, and I'm pretty sure it's this Sunday we have Sunday breakfast where all the family convenes, except my sister and brother-in-law, of course, because they're snowbirds and they don't like cold weather. You know, my brother-in-law used to snowmobile like crazy, but my sister, she not so much. So they stay down there where where the people that can't handle the cold go for some odd reason. But anyway, I'll keep this on for another minute or two. That's the car he should have been driving over there. And then he wouldn't have gotten the accident, because that car's got really nice tires on it. And it's all-wheel drive. The car he was driving yesterday that he totaled out is only rear-wheel drive. And I'm sure that he was grabbing up some speed going down the Mosquito Creek Hill to make it up the other side of the Mosquito Creek Hill. And that's where the wreck happened. According to the other driver that he had on, our dad lost control and come over in his lane and hit him head on. So, yeah, not a good moment. Especially, when I rounded the corner and I seen his car all in a slump, both cars in the guardrail, facing the same direction to the east. My dad was going south, and then the other guy was going north. The other guy claimed he was doing 30 miles an hour, and my dad could not recollect what speed he was traveling. But the feller that he hit claimed that our dad was driving too fast for conditions, which I probably wouldn't doubt with a rear-wheel drive car trying to make the hill on the other side. It was snowing pretty heavy, and my wife and we didn't run into the snow until we crossed the river, which then we ran into the band of lake effect. But it was dry roads all the way from Hesperia, Hespetucky, all the way to the river at that point. And our dad lives about a mile, maybe 3/4 of a mile from the river. But yeah, it was crazy. I was doing 40 when I come down that hill, and I'm glad I was, because the northbound lane was completely blocked. The accident had just happened, and I didn't meet no oncoming traffic, and I went to the top of the hill and decided to pull off into the deeper snow to get my truck out of the way, because the emergency flashers do not work. I couldn't stop on the hill, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to get going to make it the rest of the way up the hill, because I was pulling my enclosed trailer, and I didn't want to be a hazard to anybody else coming down the hill behind me. Well, by the time I ran back down, I could only run halfway because I'm fat, and I was gassed, out of breath, but ran back down the hill until I had to walk to catch my breath. And by then the cars were coming over the hill northbound, and they were stopping for the accident that was blocking the road. So fortunately, everybody else that came behind us were safe, and they got stopped. By the time I got up to the top of the hill, I could see the state police coming. And anyway, like I say, I ran down the hill. I was gassed, out of breath. Felt like I was gonna have a heart attack or die. And then I made it to my dad and started tending to him. Both drivers were still in their respective vehicles at that time. And then as I was tending to my dad, then the state police came and asked who I was, and I said I'm his son. And he said, were you involved in the accident? I said, no, my truck and trailer's up on top of the hill, which he had to pass to come down to the bottom. So he knew all about it. I'm not so good at telling stories. My apologies for stuttering and possibly re-mentioning things again and again. Because unlike a woman, I cannot multitask. I am very terrible at that. My wife was with me, but she stayed up with the truck. I don't know. Anyway, the ambulance showed up. We worked on getting my dad out of the car. He was hurting. He just couldn't say where he was hurting. Besides the physical stuff that I could see, like he had a knot in the front of his forehead where he had been bleeding from. But we got him on the gurney. He was not too good at getting on it under his own power. So we had to help him, the paramedics and I. All I did is pull a sheet. The paramedics, they pretty much wanted me to stand clear to allow them to do their job and work on my dad, which I had no problem with. They're the professionals, and me, not so much. But I have not been down to the hospital because my older brother, I had spoke to him, and he went down to the hospital along with my Aunt Ola and my younger brother Cody, because my younger brother Cody works, he was on his way home from a job in Montague, so he diverted from going home and went right to the hospital to be with our dad, which thank you, Cody, because that's awesome of you. But anyway, I got one more push here, and then I'm going to shut this thing off. Like I say, I brought my dad's girlfriend. She's in the house tending to my dad's birds, and I'm going to have to take her back home. And as soon as her driveway gets cleared, because she has a hired snowblower guy that does her driveway, otherwise I'd just plow it. Then she's going to go up to the hospital to see my dad and check on him, see how he's doing. But they're supposed to make a determination today if they got to end up doing surgery on him to put plates and screws in his pelvis, because it's fractured in 2 spots. They're claiming probably about 3 months for recovery, because again, my dad's 93, he'll be 94 in April of next year. So, but between Cody and I and possibly a couple friends, we'll keep his stove fed, because he's got heat in there with his birds, and yeah, it won't be a real big deal. But I don't know how physical capable he's going to be able to do anything. We're not sure if he's going to be able to navigate stairs and stuff. So, but anyway, hope you enjoyed listening to me babble. Hope you have a much better day than my dad. So, talk to you.